All right, well, thank you all for coming today. We're really happy to see a big crowd. This is very good, and I'm hoping we can answer all your questions. My name is David Snowden. I'm the assistant to the town manager, and I also have Ed Pasek, who will be managing the town's municipal contract, and then Tim Whitaker, who is going to be the route coordinator, route manager in town. Before I pass it off to Ed and Tim, I just want to make sure you're all aware that there's going to be a number of these events. SMC is helping us out and recording it as well, so you'll be able to watch it again. And we'll update these events with different questions and answers that have been brought up at other events. We can always watch it online, and it'll also be broadcasted through the SMC channel. So now I'm going to pass it off to Ed and Tim, and hopefully we can answer all your questions.
Well, thank you, David. So good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. This is great that we have a wonderful turnout today. So we're really excited to be with the town of Shrewsbury. We're excited to partner with the town and offer this very important service. So really what we want to highlight today is some of the changes that you might experience as residents as we switch services here in town. So probably the biggest, most noticeable change that everybody's going to experience is the change in the way that recycling is scheduled to be collected. So as far as what is recyclable, that's not changing. And as far as the fact that you separate your material into glass, metal, and plastic, and you separate it into paper and cardboard, that's not changing, but the way, the weeks that we pick it up is. So here's how this is going to work. Right now, you set out your recycling every other week, and now what's going to happen is we're going to take the two parts of recycling and we're going to divide it so that 1 week you have your paper and cardboard are collected, and then the next week it's just going to be metal, plastic, and glass items being collected. So just to kind of summarize it, every week you'll put your trash at the curb, and then on the yellow week you're going to put the paper and cardboard out, and then the next week will be gray week, and you'll put the trash along with your glass, metal, and plastic out. So really what's going to happen is you're going to put some recycling out every single week, but depending on the week, it's going to determine what type of recycling is set out. So in order to help keep it straight for everybody, we mailed a mailer to everybody, which hopefully everybody's received by now. And if for some reason you haven't received it, we have extras here. You can take one with you. And in that mailer, there's a calendar. So I don't think that's a calendar up on this. I can go back to that one. Yeah. So we have a calendar that looks, this is the calendar, that's what it looks like. And so what you can see is that each week is highlighted in either yellow or gray. And that will tell you which material you're going to put out on that week. So if you get off track, or if you go away for a while and you want to know, which week you're on, just consult the calendar and you'll see exactly which material to set out with your trash for that week. So before we go any further, I just want to see if there's any questions on that. Yes?
You refer to cardboard.
Yes.
Are you talking about corrugated paper or just cardstock?
Both. So you can put corrugated cardboard at the curb. You could also put your paper board at the curb as well.
So that's a change now.
Like newspapers and everything, cardboard, it's all paper stuff?
Yes, all the cardboard and the
That will go
paper
1 week.
fiber materials will go in 1 week. Yeah, I don't believe that's a change, sir.
It's never been highlighted.
Okay.
And you leave a cardboard box out there, just the cardboard box.
Well, we ask that all the cardboard be broken down flat. So we want it to all be flattened. So I don't have a picture of it here, but if you could flatten all the cardboard, that would be what we're asking.
This is one kind of box I was questioning.
Yes.
What about pizza boxes?
All right, so that's a great question. So pizza boxes have long been considered not recyclable, but now we have a change in the policy where pizza boxes can be recycled, even if there's a little bit of grease in there. But the one thing that's very important is that pizza boxes contain no food. So they can't have the pizza in the box, you can't have cheese or anything like that, or food still in the box. But as long as it's cardboard, and even if there's a little grease in there, that's okay. Yes.
Your TV ads mentioned textiles. What's that all about?
We do not collect textiles as part of the recycling program, but I believe the town is offering.
I can go over that right now.
Yeah.
Yep. So in the middle of July, you're going to receive something in the mail. There'll be pink bags, and you can put out your textiles in these pink bags. And there's going to be a separate entity or separate contract that we have that goes going to go to pick them up. When they take your pink bag, they'll give you a new one. So in the middle of July, we'll be able to also accept textiles at the curb. Waste management won't be handling that, but it's a separate contract the town has.
What do you consider textiles?
There's going to be a lot of information on that mailer when it comes out, but it's going to be clothes, towels, and no price, no charge for the bags for those. I have to double check on rugs. I'm not positive on that.
Will that be picked up regularly, or is that only certain times of the year with the pink?
It will be picked up regularly when you put out your recycling. So if your day is Tuesday, you'll always put out the pink bag if you have it on Tuesday with your recycling.
And the pink bag stays with you, you don't take it with you, or?
They take it and then they give you a new one.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Excuse me. Yeah, I don't understand how this is different from what we're doing now, because now we have the commingled.
Here's how it's different. So right now, on 1 week you just put out trash, and then on the next week you put out all of your recycling.
Right.
The new program is going to be, on 1 week you'll put out your trash and commingle, and the next week you'll put out your trash and cardboard and paper. So you take the recycling and divide it into two different categories, and on 1 week you put out the commingle with the trash, and on the next week you put out the paper and cardboard. So right now you're dividing all your recycling into these two categories already. The change is that now 1 week we will only pick up one, and then the next week we'll pick up the other. That's the change.
Missy, you have a question?
Yes.
A couple questions about the flyers. We've all gotten them now,
Yep.
but we all have busy lives and lots of mail. In 6 months, when my flyer disappears, is the town or the senior center going to be having anything like a reminder, like maybe putting out a big green, poster or something here on the, pillar saying, Green Week, so everyone will know it's, our plastic bottles and stuff.
That's a great
And also
idea
on
we
the
can do
website, for people that are more technology, addicted.
The alerts are going to be going out through the website, so if you're signed up for the news flashes, you'll still receive those, and those will indicate what recycling week. We can also print out more. We're going to have these strategically placed in town, like the library. We can have a pile here, so if you lose yours or run out, you can contact us at the town, and we can help provide that for you. We got one in the back first, Missy. Yes, standing in the back.
I just got it, I don't know if you want.
I know,
Not yet.
We haven't gone over that yet. Okay. You want to grab one?
Well, yeah, right here.
Should newspapers be put in a paper bag, or do you want it in a recycling bag?
Okay, so as far as bags go, if you want to put your paper material in a paper bag, that's okay. But we don't want anybody to use plastic bags for any recycling, okay? So we don't want plastic bags in the recycling. We don't want you to put your recyclable items in plastic bags. You can put your paper products in a bin if you like, in a reusable bin, or you could use a bag or you could use a paper bag or a box. Yes?
I'm still not clear. You say you give out a pink bag for
Yep.
textiles. You say we pick up, where can I pick up?
It's going to be mailed to you. In the middle of July, you'll receive them in the mail from the company that's going to be providing that service.
You say I can pick up again.
No, they leave one for you. So if you put a bag at the curb, they're going to give you another bag at that time.
But where will I put?
Right next to your recycling. Yep.
So we have to pick up.
You don't have to do any of that. We're trying to make it very easy. There's no payment. You'll get a bag in the mail, you'll fill it up, and then you can get more bags. If you don't receive them, we'll have more bags at the town. Okay? At the town hall. We're going to have an extra supply at the town hall. Go ahead.
So I have questions about a lot of individual items that could be considered one category or another. Are you going to cover those later? I don't want
Yes.
to derail
Yes.
the rest of your
Yep.
presentation.
Yes, we're gonna-
So we can come back to that, but
Correct.
I've got a bag of goodies that to me aren't clear.
Okay, sure, we'll go over that in a minute, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go.
Just quickly, garden containers that, everybody has right now, that planes come in,
Oh, yeah,
a lot of them have the recycle mark on them. You take those.
we don't want those, no.
You don't
But
want
you're talking like potting, those
Right,
pot,
they all
yeah.
have the recycle
No,
mark on
no,
them.
we don't want that,
You don't want them?
yeah,
You can take it.
yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Repeat that, please.
When you
We'll repeat
mentioned,
that.
when you mentioned you can put the paper into recycle bin,
Yes.
now in that case, do you need more than one bin?
You,
Because one bin could have, the day you put it, paper and can and glass bottle and all that kind of thing.
well, so as long as the day that you're putting it at the curb, it just has the paper in there, that's fine.
So, but other times you need it then two separate bins.
You personally may need or may want to use more than one bin at your house. So, you'd want a bin for your glass, metal, and plastic items, and you'd probably want a bin for your paper and cardboard.
So we gotta buy bins available free or do we have to pay for it?
I think they could be purchased in the town.
The town sells recycling containers at the health department for $11. You can also use your own container. If you have a Tupperware bin or something like that, you can use that, and the town provides free recycling stickers that you can put on the container. And the one thing with the number on the recycling, so Mass DEP has moved away from referring to all the numbers on the bottom of the plastic, and they're really trying to use this language: cans, bottles, jars, jugs, and tubs. Typically, if an item is plastic and it is a bottle, jar, jug, or tub, it's going to be the correct plastic for recycling at the curb. And that's sort of, if we start using these images in our heads, that's sort of what we're accepting at the curb.
That's absolutely right. So the question about the garden plants and things like that, those different containers, if it doesn't look like any of that stuff that you have there, then don't worry about what the number says. Just look at the image and use that as your guideline. Yes.
So then with regards to takeout containers, when you come into the restaurant with plastic and the darker plastic, those are not acceptable.
Right. So I know for sure the dark, like the black plastic ones, those are not acceptable. And I think the clear clamshell ones, I don't know if you had a chance to look at that.
I did look at the strawberry containers, which are, but I didn't check that out. We can check that before everyone leaves today.
Yeah.
So a lot of food comes now in those plastic clear.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
So what do we
Yes.
So, David, do you or have planned maybe a special TV show that will be airing on SPAC that will going over just what's acceptable for recycling, literally holding it up saying, yep,
We're working with Val as well to develop that, and I imagine Ed, who's been very gracious, would be willing to help out with that as well.
Be happy to help with that.
so you'll be able to go into all that stuff.
Sure. Yep.
So shredded paper, can you put that in a big paper bag?
No, so we don't want shredded paper because now shredded paper can be recycled at a shredding event, but for the purposes of curbside recycling, it's not considered recyclable because what happens is all the material that you put out at the curb, it gets collected, it gets put in the truck, it gets brought to the processing facility. The processing facility it operates off of a conveyor system. And all of that shredded paper just kind of blows up and goes in the air, and it turns into confetti when you get to the processing plant. So it doesn't end up being captured in the recycling process. So if you have shredded paper, just put it in the trash, or you could, if you find a recycling shredding event, you could bring it to that. Yes.
I have a number of items here that I would like to know if they're recyclable.
That's a good idea.
Sure. Yeah.
Show and tell.
Well,
Maybe go through some of the presentation, and at the end, we'll put that bag here and we'll hold them up.
Yeah.
We can answer that.
Great
so
idea.
people have to go.
I suggest
They
that
can
you
go.
go through the presentation,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So as we indicated, some of the changes that people are going to experience are, number one, the fact that the recycling is going to be put out every week, but it's going to be divided into commingle one week and cardboard and paper the next week. So that's probably the biggest change everybody's going to experience. Number two is when we come and pick up the material, you're going to notice that it's going to be one truck that picks up the trash and the recycling at the same time. So that's going to be a change. It's more efficient to do it that way. It's only one truck going down your street. It's less traffic in the town. It's less noise pollution. It's less air pollution. It's a lesser carbon footprint. So there's a lot of good reasons why it's better to send one truck down the street than two. In order to accomplish this, we have to have a truck that has two compartments. So you'll see here, this is an example of one kind of truck that's called a co-collector. There's other kinds of co-collectors that exist. Some co-collectors are going to be loaded from the side. This kind of truck is loaded from the back, but regardless of whether the truck is loaded from the side or the back, there's two compartments that are there in the truck. One compartment will be for trash, and the other compartment is for recycling. So one compartment, as you can see here, is slightly larger. That's going to be the trash side, and then the other side is for recycling. So that's, it really won't affect you in any way, but you may have that question when you notice that the material is getting picked up. Now, there's another thing that's important, though, that comes from this co-collection style of pickup, and that's the fact that we're only going to collect material that's on the curb side of the truck. So when we drive down the right side of the road and we're going to pick up only the material on that right side of the road. So that means that when the truck goes down the street, only one side of the street will be collected at a time. So if you notice that your neighbor across the street has their material collected and yours hasn't been, there's no reason to get nervous about that. Don't worry, we're going to be back. What's going to happen is we're going to keep going down the street. We might make a right-hand turn. We might keep making right-hand turns again and again and again and again until we can come back down your street. And we do this for a few reasons. One reason is it's efficient. Our driver is going to drive from the right side of the truck, so that might be something you'll notice. He'll just jump out on the right side of the truck. He'll load the material on the side, and then he'll jump right back in. It's quick and it's efficient. The other thing is it's safe. It's safe for our drivers. It's safe for the residents of the town. It's safe because our driver's not going to be running across the street in traffic and being a hazard to himself and others. It's safe because you're not going to have the truck pull across the other side of the street and go head-on into traffic to collect on the other side of the road. So neither of those situations should be happening, and so it's safe for everybody, and it's also efficient. We consider it a big improvement as far as collection is concerned.
What about dead-end streets? Would I go down and turn around and come back?
So in some cases, many cases, dead-end streets, we do not have enough room to turn around. So what will happen is we will tend to back down the street, and then we'll collect on our way out. In some cases, if a street is very narrow, and it pretty much, some streets are so narrow, and our trucks are big, that the truck may take up the whole street. If the truck takes up the whole street, we can't drive down one side and then come back up the other. In cases like that, we may have to collect from both sides, but those are going to be the exception, and they're only going to be in situations we consider to be safe for our employees. So, those are some changes you're going to see operationally speaking. I guess the other big change that I'll mention this too. Yeah, great point. So right now, we don't anticipate any day changes. We don't plan on any day changes. So if your trash is picked up on a Monday, it will continue to get picked up on a Monday. If it's picked up on a Thursday, it will continue to be picked up on a Thursday. So there's no changes to your day of schedule. However, there could be a change to the time of day when your trash and recycling is collected. So that's one thing that we want to bring to everybody's attention. Now, technically, this is no change for anybody. The town has always asked everybody to put their material out at the curb at 7 a.m. So that really hasn't changed. But what you might notice is you may be used to the driver coming by at 9 or 11 or noon, and that may be different now. So we want to stress to everybody, have the material out at 7 o'clock. That way there's no chance of your trash and recycling being missed. Any questions on the scheduling so far?
What about the coat hangers? I noticed in the pamphlet they said no coat hangers.
Coat hangers are not recyclable.
What do you do?
They put them in the trash.
You can also bring them to dry cleaners. Most dry cleaners accept coat hangers.
Yeah.
On the
on the days like now, I'm a green bucket, I get it on a Wednesday. Now, you're gonna have it, cardboard will be every day all week, you can put it out.
So-
You don't have a special day, how do I know what day to put it out?
All right, so
Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, or what?
all right, so if your collection day is a Wednesday, it's going to stay Wednesday, and
I will
then
stay on a Wednesday.
stay Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so then the only thing that's going to happen is your cardboard is going to be put out every other week.
Right,
That's
right.
And then on the
But it'll
weeks
be on the day that we have now, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
It'll be every other week for you. It would be every other week Wednesday. And the weeks you don't put the cardboard out, you're going to put your glass, metal, and plastic items
Yeah,
out.
see, like I do it now, cardboard and paper and recycling bottles all in my green bucket. I'd separate them in it and they would take it, you know,
Yeah.
and be all done with it.
That's right.
But now you're gonna have it,
It's just going to divide that up so that it's still going to be Wednesday, but one Wednesday is going to be the cardboard, and the next Wednesday is going to be your bottles and
it'll
cans.
be the paper.
My
Yeah.
question,
I think this is confusing as to who, what, and when, which is everybody doesn't know what's going on, when tomorrow is, what gray and gold. I'd like to see the gray on the top and the gold on the bottom, and you put right in that block what can be picked up on that day specifically, and nothing else.
Yeah,
The
I
bottom
think,
one, the same thing, because you've got it mixed up in lines in here, and it's just confusing.
I think we're gonna try getting this image out to people as well a lot more because, you know, this gold box, that's the gold weeks, that's your mixed paper, newspaper, and then the gray weeks is these items. So we're gonna, that's really good feedback, and we're gonna try getting this image out to everybody as well.
And of course, on the back of it or somewhere else, another block that says no. You know, all these things we're talking about, coat hangers, things like that, no. And shredded paper, no. Put it in your recycle. Something maybe with red
That's really good
stripe
input,
through
sir.
it.
Yeah.
But these three items, the no, the gray, and the gold should be separated with the list of exactly what it can and what you can't.
Thank you, sir.
Is that something we could put on the website?
Yeah, we can definitely, it's actually went on the website after the last meeting last night.
Okay.
And we can make sure we get more of that out to residents.
Okay, good.
yeah, I live in Orchard Meadow now, I believe they come to do the trash. You haven't been coming there.
Pellegrino,
I don't know, Orchard Meadow
is. This is something I want to follow up with you because there are some apartment complexes that are still handled by the current, that'll be continued, and there's one condominium complex that Waste Management will be collecting from, the same as our old agreement. So I just want to double check on Orchard Meadow.
Yeah, the other, now we have our own bins.
Yep.
Are we still gonna be using those? There's one bin for recyclables and one bin
Yeah.
for the paper.
I want to double check to make sure you might have a separate contract, Orchard Meadows might have a separate contract with a different color, and I just want to verify that for you.
Yeah, well, they did, we did get a message that this was gonna be happening.
Yeah, this was a town-wide message to make sure we get to everyone, so I apologize if we caused any confusion, I'm just not positive right now on the Orchard Meadow.
Oh, okay.
All right, thank you.
In the back?
Do you have a microphone available? We're hearing bits and pieces of what people are saying, but not getting
Uh,
the full.
We'll try stepping closer
I'll
and
try
shouting.
to speak up a little bit more.
But even when people are talking as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can repeat the question from now on, thank you for that.
Yeah. Sir?
I have two questions about juice boxes. Where does it go or what date?
We don't accept juice boxes. Juice boxes are not recyclable.
No, the cardboard ones, like some of them are plastic bottles, some of them are cardboard juice boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 64 ounce or 52 ounce or whatever.
So like an orange juice carton, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
So orange cartons of any sort, whether it's a milk carton or a juice carton, orange juice carton, those are not acceptable.
So what do you do with it?
So if something is not, I'm just going to try to speak up here. So if something is not acceptable, that means it should just go in the trash. Yeah. So
But now they were picking it up.
If it's a gable top container, it shouldn't be collected.
it shouldn't be collected.
What do you mean table top?
Gable top, like it's,
It comes to a point, like an orange juice carton or a milk carton.
Fold it at the top.
64 ounce or whatever, they are always picking up.
Well, so there have been
Big changes.
some changes. The state of Massachusetts has worked with all of the different processors throughout the state. Yeah.
you talking about this, sir?
Yeah.
Not acceptable.
Got it.
So what am I doing?
This is trash. No, this has not been changed. This is, it should not be collected in the curb currently.
It used to be. As of about a year ago, it all changed. Okay.
Say not acceptable. So put it in the recycle or the trash. I don't understand what you're saying.
This would be thrown in the trash.
Doesn't go in the bag.
Not acceptable as recyclable material. Sorry.
Okay, yes.
This changes, what's gonna happen is, initially for a week or 2 or month or 2, people are gonna mess up most likely.
Well,
What will happen at that time, that you will not pick up those things, or you will separate it and put it on the top side
so let's,
with the note?
yeah. So just so everybody understands, there's no changes as to what's.
Here probably isn't acceptable.
Yeah, there's really no changes as far as what's acceptable now and what's going to be acceptable as of July 1st. So there's no changes in what's acceptable and what is not. Hopefully our conversation today will help clarify some of the things that are acceptable, but there's actually no changes. So you shouldn't, hopefully you're not going to see a lot of rejection taking place at the curb. But if something were, if you had a bin of material that was a lot of things that were in there that weren't acceptable, then we might leave something like this. So we may leave the material behind if you have, you know, garden hoses and plastic bags and bowling balls and clothing. If you put all that stuff in your recycling bin, those aren't recyclable items. Sometimes they end up in the recycling bin, however. And if those things end up in there, we may leave that bin behind. And in order to explain to you why the bin was not collected, we would put a tag like this here on the bin to help you understand why it was not collected. And then what we would also do is we would call our dispatch department and let them know that at your address there were these items in there, and that way if you happen to call in, we would depending on the timing of your call, we would hopefully have that information available to us, so we would know that at your address you had a garden hose or you know, a TV or something that was not recyclable in your bin and we couldn't collect it.
Could you clarify something? When you say not acceptable, you're saying not acceptable for the recyclables, but they are acceptable for the trash?
Well, not necessarily. So I mean, if you had a can of paint in your recycle bin, that's not acceptable as trash or recycling. If you had a TV in your recycle bin, that's not acceptable as trash or recycling.
So what do you do with things like that?
You'd have to, well, for a TV, you could actually contact Waste Management, and we could take it away. We'd make arrangements, and we could take that away for you. There'd be a fee for the TV. For paint and things like that, there's Household Hazardous Waste Day events that the town's looking to offer the residents.
What about plastic bags?
Plastic bags are trash. However, you could bring your plastic bags to the grocery store, and the grocery store will accept them and recycle them. Yes.
There's been this oil-based versus water-based paint and situation going on saying that one can be or one can't be. Is now neither one acceptable?
So we don't accept liquid, period. Okay. So if you have dried latex paint, it can go into the solid waste stream. Okay, but it has to be dried. We don't want anything to do with oil-based paint at all.
I have a question.
Ed mentioned the Hazardous Waste Day event. The town may also have a latex paint recycler on site, so you can bring liquid latex paint to be recycled. There'll be more information on that. It'll be in the fall of 2019.
My question is the garbage.
Yeah.
That can be thrown in your trash, okay?
Yes.
Okay, let's go, because what I do, I don't have a garbage disposal anymore, so
Yeah.
I've been taking what little garbage I had
Sure,
from supper,
sure.
and I put it in the freezer.
Okay.
And then on the day that it's to be picked up, I'll throw it in the trash bag.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Yep. Right there.
When does the town have a shredding event?
I don't know if there is a shredding event.
I have to double check that. The town does work with a couple other towns on some recycling events, and there's also other recycling events that separate entities put on or host, and we sort of share that. I can't recall that, but that's a question I'll try to find and post that online.
Yes, sir.
Aluminum foils
If it's clean aluminum foil, it can be accepted.
and pizza box that are stained but not soiled.
Correct.
Stained pizza box can be recycled?
Stained, if it has little grease stain in there, that's okay. Cannot have food in it. Yes.
Concerning about plastic container,
I'm sorry?
plastic container,
Yes.
either from gardening or from the storage.
Oh, like a kind of like a bigger
Small
storage
boxes,
container?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
And I just dispose that it is
That would be trash. Those are large.
plastic.
Could you repeat the question?
So-
Plastic is like a, storage box.
Yeah, we're not accepting large storage containers because they don't work with the sorting material, the sorting processing.
I'm sorry, she's talking about putting her recycling in that.
No, she's talking
No,
about
yes,
recycling
yeah.
it itself.
Yeah, those containers are recyclable, not at the curb though,
Yeah.
because they're too big for the processing, but there are special events that the town is a part of that you can bring larger recyclable plastic items like that, like a big plastic tote.
Or like
Yeah,
a
but not at the
2 foot by
curbside.
1 foot by 1 foot, that kind of size.
Yeah, like think of your recycling bin. That bin itself, don't put that at the curb for recycling. Use it for a bin.
I think she may be talking about the things that plants come in, the usually trays. Is that what you're talking about, the trays?
Yeah, somehow it's for storage.
Yes, she's talking about
1
storage
foot
bins.
this,
Okay.
Plastic storage bin?
And at the end, if anybody wants to stay here to ask some of those questions, there's a web resource where I can type in plastic plant container and it will tell us if it's recycling or not. And I'm happy to answer all those and stay as long as I need to help people with that, okay?
No, go
Are
ahead.
you gonna have any notices
for the
on
recycling.
computers?
Wait, one at a time.
Well, how about people that don't have computers, like myself and this
We're
woman here?
going to try to make sure that if you're signed up for the Code Red news flashes on your phone, you can receive information. We'll also try to get as much paper presentation material out at the library, the senior center, and town hall.
Yes.
Yes, the recycling bins, we already have green ones and blue ones, depending on where we live. Do we have to use those for recycling? In other words, we have a big barrel. Could we use that, say if we have a lot of newspapers and magazines and the like? Could we use that?
Sure, yeah.
Big one.
Yeah.
As long as it's smaller than 64 gallons. So if it's like a really big bin, like that I could fit in, that's going to be too heavy for the workers to use all the time.
This is like,
Yeah, that's fine.
but some places says no heavier than 20 pounds.
That's a trash bag.
And it doesn't have to have a cover on it.
What about
Does not have to have a cover.
Sir,
Yeah.
in the oil can that we use for the lawnmower,
Yeah.
that goes in with the plastic recycling?
Yes, those can be
That'll
recycled.
all right when it's empty?
As long as they're empty.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. Yes.
I heard for quite a few things, the town will have a different events, like recycle event, shredding events, or, so now with all these different things, we will need more those days, not like once every quarter or once every 6 months, you may need more, so town management
We
needs
have
to
a
hear that.
garbage bag.
Did you hear that, town management?
That's very good
Door
input.
in the
That's
town hall.
Jeff Holland, the DPW director, but he's
But he
very
won't-
grateful
he
to hear
won't
that.
come
Blue
up
bag,
to-
they're gonna.
He does work for the town, yes.
So
Yeah,
if you're taking
that's
notes,
for a
then
minute
you
too,
need to
okay.
make sure that there should be more event, more frequent events,
That's the
not
garbage.
like once a quarter, once a 6 months like that.
You know, when you're
That's
alone,
very good feedback, sir. Is someone way in the back? Yes, ma'am?
I understand that the gable top
Paper will
containers
be
are not
lucky I get it out
recyclable.
once a
A lot
month
of
now.
your soups and stuff come in the square vacuum sealed ones with the foil tab. Are those recyclable?
No.
No. Okay, so no cardboard at all as far as food containers.
Yeah, so one thing just to kind of reiterate is that, if it doesn't look like what you see up here, then just put it in the trash. One thing that the message we want to get out is that in order for recycling to be a good and viable program, it's actually better to have fewer items in the recycling that are the right items versus more things that aren't recyclable. If we have if we put the right things in there, even though it might be less overall items, recycling is going to be a much healthier program going into the future. Yes.
Can you put styrofoam?
No.
Like air cartons and things?
Styrofoam will go in the trash. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Can brush be put in paper, the yard waste bags and put out for with yard waste pickup?
Oh, yeah.
Because you're saying we
Yeah.
can't take it to the highway garage.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
That
so
can go in
we're-
you're talking about the paper yard waste bags, the
Yeah.
leaf and clipping
And
bags?
those days are already indicated on the calendar when those weeks are going to be. It's indicated by a black leaf. So you can see that these are the weeks that the yard waste will be collected.
So we can either put it out,
No.
we can't take it to the highway garage.
That's still going to be provided. Those going to be those days will be provided as they are currently. So right now, I think the first available date to drop off your grass clippings is this Saturday, and they'll still provide those in the spring and the fall. And Waste Management will also be collecting your leaves and your brush, your sticks, as long as they're tied at the curb.
Yep. Yes, sir.
This is for the town.
Yep.
But everybody here has been recycling, but it seems like more than 50% of people don't know what they really can recycle and they can't. So I'd like the town to come up with a page, somewhere on the web even is fine, of what you can recycle and what you shouldn't recycle, such as the juice containers or the milk carton. People didn't know that. They've been
Yeah.
probably throwing them in recycling bins.
And we know that people want to do the right thing, and we're trying to produce it. And we'll print this out today, so if people want to come back to the town hall afterwards, I can print out the universal list of yes and no. And we'll give that to you today, okay?
Get it on
Can you finish the
the
presentation
Yeah.
and then hold the questions till
Sure.
later?
Yeah, we can move on to, there's not much left, but
Yeah,
we want
we
to,
need to go over the bulk.
we want to talk about the bulk.
Yeah, and then that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so really the final change that I think people may experience is just the change in disposing, not even disposing of, really just scheduling bulk items. So right now, if you have a bulky item that needs to be collected, what you would do is you would go to the store, you would buy a sticker, and then you would leave it out on the day that your trash gets collected, and then it gets taken away. So one change that we're going to have here is now you will still have to, you still buy a sticker at the store, but you have to call Waste Management to have the item collected. And all of the collection will take place on Mondays. So all the bulk item collection is going to be scheduled on Mondays, and you need to call Waste Management to make that appointment. And the reason why you have to call is because we need to know that you have the item in front of your house. There's going to be a different truck that will come and collect the bulky item, so that's why we need to know that you have it in front of your house. We can come and get it. So just make an appointment with us, and we'll come and get it. But you have to still have to purchase the sticker first.
A piece,
What's that?
$10 a piece.
$10 for the sticker. That's correct.
At the retailer.
Yeah. So now there's one other thing we're adding on. It's an additional service that we're offering. If you'd like to, when you call Waste Management, you can make the payment over the phone, so that way you don't have to go to the store to buy the sticker. Now, if you do that, there's an extra $5 charge, and that's to cover our costs of taking the payment. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. You can continue to purchase the sticker at the store. It really doesn't matter to us or to the town which option you choose. It's really just there for your convenience if you choose to want to do that. Any questions on the bulk pickup?
Yes.
Yes.
You showed mattresses and recliners.
Yeah.
All those are included
In the bulk, yeah.
for only $10?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, per item.
It's for each piece.
I know,
Per item, yeah.
We have a list on the website, and Waste Management will also have a list on their website. And we also provide handouts at the town hall. If you have a twin bed, the box spring and mattress are one. If you have a king bed, the mattress will be one, the box spring will be another one. So there are some size requirements, but and there's some weight. I think it has to be under 100 pounds per item.
Okay, so we don't have a computer, but we can get a list at the town hall?
Yes, you can. Yep,
Okay.
we have those printed out right now if you want to stop by afterwards.
Yeah, I will, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Can you use yard waste bags for like newspapers?
I don't know. Would you? I guess I don't know. I
Is
mean,
there a weight limit?
Tim, what do you think?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Yep, as long as it's not too heavy for the drivers, you know, it's convenient for you guys, you can fit more in there.
What would be a weight limit that you would recommend for recycling?
For recycling, I would say 50 pounds.
In the recycling,
We'll get that posted.
plastic bottles, milk bottles, and you can put tin cans, like from all that.
Yes.
You clean it out and put them in it.
Yeah.
Okay, like vegetables that come in a can.
Yes.
That'll go to the recyclable plastic.
Correct.
And all together.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes.
David, you mentioned earlier there's a website that you can go on and enter in an item. Can you give us access to that?
Yep, that is actually, a newsflash went out this morning based on last night's meeting, and I'm going to show anybody that wants to stay here afterwards, I'll show you that. And that's also on the health website right now, currently.
What about mops and brooms, anything that has that kind of a handle?
So, you know, I would say you could put that in a bag, and if the handle's sticking out, I mean, we don't have a problem with that.
Yep,
Do we?
in some other towns, people tie the bag to the mop
Yeah.
or something like that, so they know what they're
that's
throwing.
fine. A question like that, we would, if you were concerned, you could call Waste Management, and they might just say, tie a bag to it, and we'll take that. That won't have to be bulky waste, because it's not that big. It's just
What
long,
do you mean tie a bag?
like one of your blue bags, or
Oh, so you pay for a bag?
just a regular bag instead of a sticker for an item like a mop or something like that.
Okay, like the hoses.
Yes, sir.
The water hoses.
Yard bag, it may be confused that it's yard waste versus newspaper.
That's a great point, especially if it's during yard waste season. Great point. Yeah. In the
His question was that if someone uses a yard bag for their paper collection, it could be confused as yard waste. So we're going to figure that message out internally, and we'll share that with the town. But
yes, in the back. Yeah.
Do you have any sort of a reciprocal agreement with recycling centers that are around or neighboring?
You mean for
When you can't take something that's metal or small, they usually have it broken down there. And to spend, $200 to $500 a year just buying a little sticker to put it onto something makes no sense. Are there any centers nearby?
there is NEDT. I'm blanking on the location. It's in
Sutton.
Massachusetts. It's posted on our website.
Where you said it's in Sutton?
It's in Sutton. And they do accept hazardous materials, metal, bulk items as well. The town is also trying to find ways to extend hazardous waste drop-offs, and that might be something we look into as well, sort of having a place where residents can go and recycle things.
I mean, if you have a toaster oven, you have a lamp,
Yep.
you have a metal fan.
Yep. And a toaster oven or washers and dryers now and things like that, Waste Management will provide a service where you call them, and separate from the town, you can have them come pick that up for a fee.
For a fee.
And that's on the handout as well.
Yes.
Because it's starting July 1st, July 4th is a holiday.
Great point, yeah.
And
Thank
with
you.
Waste Management, explain that, or will we still be getting Saturday pickups and all that fun
So
stuff?
that's a great point. So because Independence Day is going to be Thursday of the, during the first week of our service, what people experience is anybody who has a regular service day of Thursday will be collected on Friday, and anybody who's normally collected on Friday would be collected on Saturday of that week due to the holiday. Now, I believe that's the same thing that happens now, and that's the same type of thing that's going to happen throughout the year anytime there's a holiday during the week.
And the holidays have already been indicated by a blue square on the mailer that you received.
The holiday Monday and Tuesday, and they collect me on Wednesday, but then I have to put it on Thursday.
That is right. That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
Same as it is
Yes,
now.
sir.
I'm just curious, what happens with stuff that goes in the garbage?
It goes, all the garbage and rubbish go to Wheelabrator Industries, which is located on Route 20 in Millbury. And Wheelabrator is what we call a waste-to-energy facility. And what that means is that all the material gets dumped there, it gets incinerated, in a clean way, and the energy that comes from the incineration process goes to produce electricity. So it actually produces electricity that power area homes.
Can I use the milk cartons, I mean the milk boxes, the plastic
Oh, the
ones,
plastic
square
milk
ones?
cartons?
Yeah,
Oh,
can
I know
use-
what you mean.
Yeah, could I use that as a bin?
Yeah, as long as the material's not going to fall through the openings.
Okay, yeah.
So that sort of wraps up the big part of this presentation. If you have any specific questions, I'm happy to stay here for as long as I can. I think Ed does have to head out.
I got about 15 minutes.
Okay, so you can come up. Oh yeah, we can do a show and tell. All right. And then one other thing that Jeff Howland, the DPW director, brought up, the holiday schedule there is printed. It's slightly different than what we currently have. I think there's 1 or 2 less holidays observed by the hauler. So just refer to the calendar and you'll know what the days are.
Did you have the 11 holidays before?
We had yeah, we can. It's just that's the only change to the holidays.
Yeah, there's a few fewer holidays, so that means that your service will be run on the normal schedule a few more weeks during the year.
The other things in here.
Okay.
All right, so this is. I don't know if everybody can see
And if
this.
you need to go, you're welcome to go. This is bonus stuff.
Yeah. So yogurt.
I'm gonna pull up the website too.
Yeah. Yogurt container is good. That can be recycled.
Okay, but that's not plastic.
Oh, it's not?
That one isn't.
Oh, it's not? What is it?
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is.
It says it's plastic.
Yep. This is
number 5. It's a number 5 plastic. Yeah.
So you can separate them.
It's because it has a wrapper.
Oh.
It just had a wrapper.
So it's still all right.
Yep.
Okay.
Well done. But the paper can stay, the label can stay on the container.
And the label can stay on the container. That is correct. So here another type of yogurt container. It's also recyclable. Plastic. This is
That's a carton. That's a plastic lined cardboard.
This is like a carton. So this would not, I wouldn't consider this to be recyclable. Just so you know, this isn't actually plastic. It may look plastic from where you're sitting, but it's not. It's actually like almost like a ice cream carton type of material. The cover
should be okay.
The cover is okay, but what we want to do is keep materials that are less than 2 by 2 by 2 out of the recycling. So even though this is, maybe 4 by 4, it's so thin that it could fall through our processing.
That's trash.
So I would just take this and throw it in the trash. This is a plastic water bottle. Everybody's seen these. They're everywhere. This is perfectly good for recycling. Please recycle these.
What about the caps, which are the number, are those too small?
So the caps, great question. Any caps for bottles, we ask that you leave on the bottle. And the reason why is, to your point, the cap on its own, it's a good plastic, but it's too small for our processing equipment to capture. So if you leave it on the bottle, it all gets recycled. So there you go. All right. So we got a box from consumer product here, a little box. This is like a, I don't know if it's exactly corrugated, but this is perfectly recyclable. So this is good. And if you got any kind of cardboard or paper board or cardstock, what's that? If you can, that's great.
Okay.
If you can, that's good. Yeah.
Because it was shiny, I
Yes.
wasn't sure.
No, that's okay. So this, I would say, I don't know. Yeah, this is. Yeah, so this is a tea box here. It's basically like a paper board kind of cardstock. So this is recyclable. Maybe I'll just stand over here. Egg carton right here. You got a fiber egg carton. This is recyclable.
As cardboard?
Excuse me. Yeah. Put this in the cardboard week.
There are plastic ones and there are cardboard ones, so you get them.
So there's actually, so just to be clear, you have the fiber ones like that. That goes with your paper and your cardboard. You have plastic ones. Those would go with your plastic. You have styrofoam ones. Those would go with the trash.
So this would go with the paper then?
Yes.
All right, what do we have here? We got another box, same thing, recyclable on the paper weight.
You got a question in the back while you?
Yes, you said anything smaller than 2 by 2 by 2, you don't want to put in the recycling bin. So when we open up a can and the lid comes off, we have to throw the lid out?
If you put the can back on, it's okay.
Or if you even just put it in the, you can put it in the can.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it may come out, it may not, but you can try it.
We understand that that's probably not done as negligence. It may have been an accident. Yeah.
Okay, when you have a tomato paste
Oh, yeah.
in a bottle, the metal cap.
Oh, I know what you, yeah.
So you rinse
can-
out the bottle, right? You put the cap back on.
Correct.
And they both go in.
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine, yeah, sir.
Household products that have the spray thing on it, if you leave them in, they're all plastic.
Yeah,
Let me look this up, right on.
I honestly
Throw them in the trash.
don't know.
It says spray bottle, put this item in your recycling bin. Remove pump and put it in the trash. Empty bottle can go in the recycling.
Got it, trash.
So, yeah. Yes.
Do you have a limit on the size of flattened cardboard, like a big TV box?
I don't know what the town, everything needs to be under 4 feet.
Yeah.
The trucks have a split in them, so the recycle side is smaller. So say you buy a 65-inch TV and you just flatten that box, the driver's gonna have a hard time getting that inside the recycle area.
So will there still be down on South Street?
Yes.
Place with
Yeah, correct. So if you have very large cardboard or a lot of it, you can still drop it off at the South Street Highway Garage at the cardboard dumpster there.
So Ed, what about something like this that is paper with a little bit of metal? So those are 2 different pickups in theory.
Yeah.
What would you do with that?
If you really wanted to be good about it, you could tear off the metal strip and then throw it in the paper.
And does the metal doesn't go in glass? No. Okay. I mean, those are kind of silly questions.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do?
That is a good question. Yes, sir.
Small batteries and small electronic items, what would you do?
Batteries, well, batteries shouldn't go in the trash, so I don't know if the town has a battery collection.
Yeah. We have to double check this, and it might actually be on the flyer as well. I can't remember some of the LEDs and rechargeable batteries. There's drop-off locations, and
It's in here.
and
Okay.
yeah,
Batteries.
yeah. So alkaline batteries can go in the trash, but there are services that do recycle them.
And there's button batteries should not go in the trash.
That's correct.
Yeah. You have to bring them to a.
I think it's actually on that paper sheet.
Yeah.
So you can't see through here. You can plug in the straight.
Thank you. Yeah.
The cans, do we need to take the paper labels off? Because those are too simple.
Oh, no, that's fine. You can leave them on.
Leave them on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir.
Now he's working on showing us how to search the different items.
Yes.
Oh, right. Well, there's a few more questions.
That plastic thing, the salad plastic?
Yeah.
What's that?
David, could you look up clear clamshell?
Yeah.
It's all plastic. Yeah, recycle.
So, put it in your recycling bin.
So like your blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, a bin like that, that is recyclable.
And you even have the picture over there just as a reference. So, what else do we have here? All right, so there's a styrofoam packing peanut here.
No.
Well, what do you think? No, that's right.
There we go.
All right, we'll get some audience participation. How about we got some like plastic bags of food came in.
Trash.
Trash, that's right. All trash.
Here, what about that?
They're all gonna be pros by the time you leave.
They can have, it doesn't, don't forget about the numbers. Is it a bottle? Is it a food container? But a bag, we don't want that. And let's see, what else? Pretty much
And what about a book?
a book. If it's a soft cover book, that's okay. We don't want hardcover books. I mean, if you really wanted to get into it, you could rip the hard covers off and pull the pages out, but, you know, otherwise it's just, you could maybe bring them to the, I don't know if there's a program, I know.
No, the library.
In my town, the library.
Yep, they do.
This gentleman's asking about black
Okay,
plastic.
so black plastic is not acceptable.
No black.
No black plastic.
No plastic.
So we ignore the symbol on this.
Right,
So you should ignore the symbol on everything. Ignore the symbol on everything.
That means government has to do different thing now, right? All the day, one time they had a good intention.
Yeah.
Putting all these numbers and HTTP sign and everything else. Now, the whole new thing needs to be educated, ignore that and this. Who's gonna do that?
Well, we're doing it today.
Federal government
We're doing it right now.
Yeah, he's helping.
Right now.
So this is cardboard on the inside with metal.
How can I help you, sir? You got a question?
Yeah. David, could you?
That is, yes.
Both items, both
Yes.
interior recycled. How do you treat it? So
it
it's
has-
cardboard with metal tops, and it actually has a plastic.
What was it? What was it?
It was breadcrumbs.
There we go. We're gonna search for breadcrumbs. It's that good.
So what day does go?
We're gonna find that out for you. They also have oatmeal containers, right?
Yeah.
Try cardboard canister.
Oh, okay, good. There we go.
They are there.
Trash.
You've been doing it wrong.
But we know you're not doing it on purpose. We're all learning this. Yeah.
Again, there are two questions. One, what is the motivation about doing all these different things? Is it because China wants more cleaner, recyclable?
Well, so China's not even taking the materials.
Right.
So China shut off their buying, and what's happened is that there's fewer markets out there, and the markets that do exist, that markets that will still buy this material, they're demanding cleaner material. So the reason why, the big answer to your question is though all these things are, in some ways, they're not even changing. This is really the way it should have been all along, just so everybody knows. But what happened was, there was a lot of leniency as far as what was accepted, because at the end of the day, we were able to still sell the material. Now we can't sell it anymore, so now we have to be very strict as far as what the rules are. But the rules really haven't changed so much. It's just, we have to just be a little bit better about following. That's all. Yes?
I'm a latecomer. I just walked in. I want to ask a question. I'm also recycling. I used to do it when it was down by where Price Chopper is. Where is this recycling going and what is it being used for? Because all you see on the news is, we don't need it, we don't know what to do with it, we ship it to China, they don't want it.
Yeah, so all the recycling is going to Casella in Auburn. And Casella has markets where they sell all this material. So I don't want to speak too much for them, but if their operation's anything kind of similar to ours, they're selling it to mills who are actually processing all the paper and all the plastic into new consumer items. So
it's being used.
It is being used,
Locally and overseas.
Yes, correct, yeah. Sir?
What do you do
We're gonna do that,
with, let's say, an empty shaving tube or an empty shampoo plastic container?
Those can be recycled.
That's okay.
Yeah.
What about a bottle, let's say, of Vino lotion? Once you take the pump out, is the bottle recyclable?
Yes, but you want to just rinse it out. Yeah.
All right, we're going to still take more questions, but I know some people might need to leave, and we want to do our thank you raffle. So who hasn't gotten a raffle ticket yet? Has anybody not gotten one?
Hey Ed, what about whipped cream containers?
There's an aerosol on
There's
it.
an aerosol.
So we don't, aerosol, well, is it really aerosol or is it just compressed air? I don't know. Let's see if we can, so the metal should be okay.
And you really can't take the plastic cut because it's too small.
Yeah.
So it's trash.
Where is it?
This is a game, we should do this as a
But I mean, my, container that have metal and.
And I'll still stay to answer as many questions as necessary, all right? No one's kicking you out.
No?
Two pieces.
I had it right.
Yes, you had it right. Yeah, whipped cream.
Do the bins have to have lids on?
That's sort of,
It's not coming up.
if it helps prevent animals get in, or if it prevents things from blowing around.
Aerosol can?
Yes, but
Aerosol cans, no, but I think whipped cream would be okay, because it shouldn't be aerosol in the whipped cream.
who else needs a ticket? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lids on the bin.
What's that?
Lids on the bin are considered recycled bin.
You don't need a bid on, don't need a lid on the bin.
Say it 3 times fast.
What's that?
Can you put one on?
You can put one on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what about, this
Awesome.
is
How many
clean
back
foil,
Yeah.
it's small, but it's
Yeah.
hard, if you say yes
I
to
just throw
foil,
it.
it's hard to, it's hard to
yeah.
get big pieces of foil.
Right, I agree, yeah, but I'd throw it.
All right, I'll be right back.
Animal waste?
Animal waste
That's
is
not
yours.
recyclable. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would say if you have like kitty litter or rabbit hutch or something like that.
All right.
Yeah. Yes.
The plastic containers that your meat comes in.
Yeah.
Without the absorbent thing, can you recycle those?
Are they plastic or are they styrofoam?
That's you get your.
Are they black?
Not black, some of them are pink, some of them are yellow. It depends upon what the manufacturer, whoever you buy your
If it's plastic and if it's not black, I think it'd be okay.
Okay, but we have to remove that.
Yeah, you can't.
absorbent thing.
Yeah, you don't want the absorbent or any kind of plastic film or anything. Yeah. That's what I always thought. Yeah.
All right. Going to the raffle, then we'll do some more questions. So thank you all for coming again. We do have one of our selectmen in the house, so maybe she'll be so kind to draw it.
You know, you're empty and
Yeah.
All right.
The challenge.
All right.
If it's
Go in
empty,
here.
in a recyclable.
So it's
Put it in the
number
trash.
2363831.
It's me.
There you go.
Oh, you won.
And you want it? Did you bring it for them?
Oh, the number already?
I think it's recyclable.
Congratulations. We have a nice fleece here, fleece blanket that rolls up into a nice carry tote. And just so you know, the bag's not recyclable. Thank you for coming.
Yes.
What's the website again?
Yeah. I will. It's called recyclesmart.org. Yeah. It's.
Thank you for coming, everybody. I know David's going to stick
It
around,
might actually be
but
on your flyer, too.
I can't stay. But thank you for your interest, and we appreciate you coming out today.
Thanks, Ed.